The NBA season has ended. Dub Nation got the ring plus KD got the NBA Finals MVP. There has been love and there has been hate, but that is not our concern here. What's good, YouTube? This is Fresh Pair returning with a new video. It's that time of the day where we look at the performance aspects of a shoe. For today's detailed performance review, we have the Nike KD 10. So without further delay, let's get to the review. I have discussed what the materials are in the KD 10 in my previous video. You may check it out later. For now, let's take a look at the materials from a performance perspective. A few things to remember. One is that the FLYKNIT upper will soften up a bit over time. As with most knitted materials, this is normal. Also, the FLYKNIT at the top of the midfoot, which is the throat area, will have folds or creases once you lace up. This is also normal, and it won't leave any significant dead space at the top that can make the shoe unsupportive because the laces will tighten whatever unnecessary space there may be. The KD 10 also has synthetic leather parts, one at the medial and another one at the back. I have no ripping issues with the synthetic panels so far, and I think that they can be durable enough in the long run unless you really intend to destroy the shoe. Others might ask if the zoom unit could pop or deflate, or if the bridge or pipe of the zoom unit could break. Both cases can happen, but the probability or possibility is not always the same for everyone at a given time. There are no hard and fast rules. It will depend on many factors. In my pair, the zoom is still working perfectly fine, no issues so far, even after playing on outdoor courts and wearing my pair for casual wear on long walks. But all the same, I'll post an update if anything unfortunate happens. My size 11 pair weighs about 14.5 ounces or 411 grams. Does the shoe feel heavy? Not at all. On the contrary, the KD 10 actually feels light, which is a good thing for those extended hours of play. I'll say it up front, the traction is not phenomenal. It's not on the same level as, say, the Air Jordan 28 or the Nike Kobe 9. But having said that, the traction is also not bad. The KD 10 still has adequate court grip. The radial pattern still gets the job done. On clean courts, the traction is good. On mildly dusty courts, you will have to wipe the outsole every once in a while to clear the dust. On really dusty courts, I've had some minor sliding, but that is to be expected because too much dust on the court is really a problem for most shoes. That should no longer be surprising. Some of you might ask if the KD 10 squeaks. I get that question very often, so I'll answer the question. Yes, the KD 10 squeaks, but not too much. But just a reminder, squeak does not necessarily equate to good court grip, neither does the absence of it translate to bad traction. Another question, does the outsole need breaking in? Yes, but not for extended hours. A few minutes of regular play should be enough. Another thing, I don't suggest using the KD 10 for regular play. Emphasis on regular play on outdoor courts or courts with rough surfaces. Of course, you still can if you really want to, but just keep in mind that the treads are thin and pliable and they will wear out fast from excessive friction. That's because the outsole is primarily designed for indoor courts such as hardwood and smooth concrete floors. Finally, the heel-to-toe transition is smooth right from the start, although the more you play in the KD 10, the better the transition will feel. That's because of the file-on and zoom combo, which brings us to our next point. The full-length zoom cushioning remains really impressive, just like the KD 9. The zoom cushioning needs just a little bit of break-in time, say a few minutes of running. Once broken in, expect a very responsive or springy ride at the forefoot and midfoot, plus superb impact protection at the heel. I'm not surprised. This is still the best zoom cushioning to date, at least in my opinion. Just for context, I weigh around 70 kilograms or about 154 pounds, and my playing style is the guard type. The file-on layer on top of the zoom adds stability to what could otherwise have been an unstable zoom unit all on its own. While the file-on adds stability, it does not significantly lessen the cushioning of the zoom. It's a little trade-off. You give just a little less cushioning, but you get a more stable ride. But don't get me wrong, the cushioning remains awesome. Like the KD9, the KD10 also has great range of motion at the forefoot despite having full-length max zoom setup. It's all because of the deep flex groove at the forefoot. It allows the toe area to flex or bend without losing the responsive cushioning of the zoom. The court feel on the other hand is good enough. It's not great, but it's sufficient to keep you low to the ground for faster reaction time. So all in all, you get superb cushioning, great forefoot range of motion, and decent court feel with the KD10's cushioning setup. The KD10 fits long. I strongly suggest going at least a half size down if you are picky about having extra space at the toe box in terms of length. The KD10 is also good for wide footers, although I still suggest sizing down if you're the type of hooper who nitpicks about even the smallest of details. Now, just for transparency, even if I got a size 11 pair for my size 11 feet, the KD10 still fits fine for me. It's not like the shoe felt uncomfortable or too spacious, it's just that there was some extra length. Unlike the KD9, the KD10 is easy to wear. What I mean is that getting your foot inside the shoe is easy breezy. The FLYKNIT at the tongue, collar, and throat, especially at the throat or instep, has adequate stretch. So if you're a wide footer who wants to get a pair, there should be no more problem fitting the shoe. The lacing system is a bit unusual. That's because the lace loops are at the base of the shoe. The effect is that the laces act like a car's seatbelt. They help prevent your feet from pushing forward excessively against the stretchable FLYKNIT at the top of the midfoot, which is designed to accommodate a variety of midfoot contours. The trick here to maximize lockdown is to pull the laces at the base of the shoe one line at a time. Start from the front, then work your way to the back. That said, the midfoot lockdown is good. It's not great right off the bat, but once you're able to cinch the laces tight enough, you will get that one-to-one fit. No dead space of any kind at the midfoot. If you go at least a half size down, then I strongly think that the midfoot lockdown will even be better. Heel lockdown is also good. I've had zero issues with it and no heel sliding concerns of any kind despite not sizing down. Others have reported problems with the lace loops. For example, others had a ripped lace loop after a couple of hours of playing in the KD10. Those cases may be isolated ones, although I can't really speak on their behalf. But as far as I'm concerned, I've had no ripping issues with the lace loops so far. Of course, once one of the lace loops rip, the entire lacing system will be compromised and so is the lockdown. But until then, everything should be fine. One last point, the ventilation is good. While the KD10 is not the most breathable shoe in history, the FLYKNIT upper allows heat to escape and it's more than adequate if your foot sweats easily. The support in the KD10 is brought to the basics. There are no excessive pieces, but the shoe provides just enough support, and what is enough is good to go for me. Having said that, much of the support in the KD10 depends on the fit of the shoe, plus the lockdown you get from the lacing system and the rigidity of the FLYKNIT at the sides. With the right fit, you should have zero problems with containment, so I can't stress this enough. Get the right fit. Go a half size down, even a full size down if that is what fits you best. Just remember that the FLYKNIT upper will continue to break in the more you hoop in the KD10, which brings me to my next point. The FLYKNIT at the lateral is firm enough to provide adequate support against the torque of your feet during sharp cuts and side-to-side movements. While the FLYKNIT at the lateral will soften up a bit over continued use, it will still remain supportive mainly because of the knitting pattern plus the quality of the FLYKNIT material itself. It's firm enough when stress is applied, but it's also woven in such a way that it adapts to the shape of your feet. And then you have the lacing system. Once you have tightened the laces starting off at the base of the shoe and then through the top, expect zero internal displacement. Although the KD10 has no outrigger, the base of the shoe is wide and flat enough to provide stability for each step. More than anything, you will have to rely on proper footwork here. If your footwork is good enough, you should have no significant worries with the KD10 support because while it does not have exaggerated parts for support, it nevertheless allows your feet to do what it is supposed to do without unnecessary restrictions. Speaking of restrictions, the range of motion at the ankle area is superb, which is what you would normally expect from a low-top shoe. The stretchable FLYKNIT at the tongue and the back of the collar won't get in the way of your feet. Overall, the KD10 is a good shoe to hoop in. The FLYKNIT is implemented in a very functional way. Although not phenomenal, the traction is good enough. The cushioning is outstanding, and it is the strongest performance aspect of the shoe. While the shoe fits long, you can easily size down if that's an issue. The lacing system in combination with the implementation of the FLYKNIT provides adequate lockdown. The support may be basic, but it makes your proper footwork to really shine. The KD10 is an excellent choice for guard type hoopers who want a shoe that feels light and has superb cushioning. Will I continue to play in the KD10? You bet your ass I will. All things considered, I give the Nike KD10 a grade of A, which is equivalent to a grade of 94 to 96 points out of a maximum 100. Question: is the KD10 better than the KD9? Stay tuned for that one, as I'll be making a video for it. That's it for today. Do let me know what you think about the Nike KD10. Post your thoughts in the comments section. In case I missed anything, post your questions as well. Stay tuned for my Tech Focus video and some others, so make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. You don't want to miss anything. Like my Facebook page in case you haven't yet. Follow me on Instagram for regular updates. Check my blog for more informative articles and performance reviews. This is Fresh Pair signing out for today. Thanks for watching. Peace.